Hello everybody, good morning. This is Ritu Sharma and we're here at Kindle Your True Power with Sam and Ritu. Kindle Your True Power is a new initiative which Sam and I are bringing to yourselves, and the purpose of bringing Kindle Your True Power to you is to connect you with lovely, amazing, phenomenal, strong, excellent people of strength and character who have been very inspiring, who are inspiring people on their own journeys. And so in this segment today, we have a very special guest, our first ever guest in Kindle Your True Power. And she's a lovely lady called Brenda Dempsey. And Brenda is soul confidence coach. And we're going to find out today about what that exactly is and how do we tap into that. Brenda is a domestic abuse survivor, she's a catalyst, and she's a problem solver. She has also contributed in an international book of inspiration for women, by women, which I was a part of as well. And that's how Brenda and I connected in the first place. And it's been an absolute pleasure connecting with Brenda ever since. She has found out that it's true power to be able to talk about your own story, to be able to share your own journey with other people, to be able to inspire them and to be able to push them to do their own best, to achieve their full potential. And therefore, because Brenda believes in that, she has provided now a platform to ladies, to women who are on their own special journey, so that they have a platform to express and connect with other people. And Brenda does lots of other more things, which I'm sure Brenda will be the best person to talk to you about. So here we are with our first guest, Brenda Dempsey. Hello, Brenda.
Oh, hi, Ritu. Thank you very much. I'm so honoured when I found out that I was actually the first guest on here. So hopefully I get this off to an absolutely blazing start for you.
Fantastic.
Excellent. I'm sure you would.
Thank you. Thank you, Ritu, for the introduction, and thank you, Brenda, for being our first guest. This is Sam Dosa, and I'm a co-power presenter for Kindle Your True Power. This segment is all about bringing some light, kindle your spirit, as well as kindle the power within you. Ritu is a transformational women's coach, and her way of looking at life with blogs for all the women who are going through the dream journey as well. She's a survivor and she's a warrior. Not a warrior, she's a warrior. So she has been humble to take this journey as a co-presenter of this segment, Kindle Your True Power. And we have been very blessed with Brenda Dempsey, who has actually acknowledged and accepted our invitation. And we have our viewers who are watching us, and we're really thankful for you guys for supporting this. And good morning, Roger, for tuning in and coming through to this live episode of Kindle Your True Power. So off to you, Ritu.
Okie dokie. Brenda, first of all, sweetheart, as I said, I know you're a phenomenal woman. I know you're doing amazing stuff. I know you have already achieved a lot. Could you please tell our viewers, tell our participants, what is it that Brenda Dempsey is? Who is she?
Well, okay, where do I start? So Brenda Dempsey, first of all, I am a soul on a journey on this planet, on this earth, and trying to shed my light and for others and help them on their journey. I'm a mother of 4 amazing grown-up children and a grandmother of 7. So that has been a huge part of my life. I was a teacher for over 25 years, and because I feel such a protector and nurturer of children. And during that journey, and that was a lifetime that was a dream since I was a 6-year-old to be this teacher. But during this journey, I've had a huge spiritual awakening, and which has brought me to the purpose of why I'm actually here on this planet. And of course, being a teacher, being a mother, being a grandmother is a huge part of that, so that I can hand down my legacy. But what has opened up for me in the last, I would say 3 years, in particular the last 2 years, is that education no longer served me in the classroom, in a system that was that I believe has yet to go through its own transformation to actually become more open and look at the holistic development of the human soul, the human being. And so for me, as I went along this journey and my mindset developed, and spiritually I was becoming more and more enlightened, I realized that I had come to the end of that journey, and it has given me lots and lots of tools, lots and lots of experience that I am able to bring into the work that I now do and share with other people. So now, in the last 2 years, and even in the last, last year, I now realise that my role is to empower others, particularly women, although I do work with men, I have to say, but particularly women, and the writing. And the funny thing was, I was an English teacher and I'd never thought this was my calling, but actually it's the voice that writing can bring. It's only a medium, so we can do public speaking, we can do writing, and in our work, whatever that may be, we have a voice. So therefore, recently I now know that my purpose, my mission in life is to give other women a voice. But in so doing,
the beauty of being a teacher, Brenda, is that you will learn for the rest of your life.
Well, absolutely, we're lifelong learners. Absolutely, we never stop learning. We learn up until the day we take our last breath here on Earth. You know, I can't stop learning, and it can be a bit of a problem, I've got to say, because you can absorb too much. So this year I've taken the word simplicity and I'm stripping everything back and coming right to the very core of what that is. So now for me it's about helping people bring out their voice in whatever medium in which they're working. So that's kind of who I am.
Okay, so Rachel, one thing I want to ask you. I think your mic is getting echo.
Sorry, the sound wasn't very good there. Didn't catch that, Sam. I apologise.
No, I'm just saying a message to Ritu. There is a mic. The echo is coming on the mic when she speaks.
Oh.
Do you have head?
I can find them. I'll have to find them.
No, you just hold your phone a little bit. Can you say something? Yeah.
Hang on. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Thank you. So, thank you very much for sharing your story. I think it's like we are all teachers here. We are all on our life learning and stripping our own habits and everything. I just I've interviewed so many people. I want to understand when you say solve confidence, what exactly means?
Okay, sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble with hearing you, Sam, because some words are missing. But I think you've asked me what is soul confidence. Is that correct?
Yeah,
okay.
Correct.
So we all know what confidence is in terms of having self-belief in ourselves and in the things that we believe in and the things that we do, and we do it with an energy that other people can quite clearly see. It's not tangible, but we can see it through how we go about what we're doing. So that's confidence. But what is soul confidence? So soul confidence is, to me, when we totally align our minds, our hearts, and our soul, and we connect with our soul. And we can do that in many ways. One of the best ways of connecting with our inner self. So soul could be our spirit, our higher consciousness, our super consciousness, our higher self. Whatever of these terms resonates with you, it's about who we are at our very core. And when you connect with a confidence at your soul level, then we align the heart, the mind, and the soul, and we allow energy to flow much more easily and with grace. And therefore we come from that place. My word this week is desire. And when we actually, and now when I say the word desire, my whole body tingles, because when you connect with what your soul desire is, why are you here, what's your message? We all have one. You might not know it yet, but we all have one. So when we connect with that soul and we know our message, that gives you a confidence beyond any other mindset confidence, egotistical confidence. It allows you to be grounded. It allows you to practice humility, so that no matter what you're saying comes from your voice of truth.
That's beautiful, Brenda, what you've just said, and I understand what you're saying. But I'm sure when you say soul, heart, mind, everything's aligned, together. And of course, it will bring holistic healing, and the growth will be immense and beautiful. I'm sure that's the case. What are the challenges? Because I'm sure there will be many. If someone started focusing on developing their soul confidence, there will be lots of challenges they'll have to face. So you want to throw some light on what sort of challenges somebody would face?
Yeah, absolutely. So usually before we begin connecting with our soul, and this is what I believe, I'm up for debate, but I believe that what we have to master first of all is our mindset. We have to master our mindset, because we have been entrenched. So from the years 0 to 7, we're imprinted with everything we know in our life, and all those experiences shape who we are today. And they form things like limiting beliefs, and they will stop you from growing as a person. Things will stop you from being who you truly are. You fear will be a big part of your life, and you will fear being judged. You will fear stepping outside of your comfort zone, because that's what you know. You may have a fixed mindset, so are you someone who says I can, despite what challenges you have? Are you optimistic, or are you someone who throws up the barriers constantly? Oh well, I would do that, but I can't do that because and that is not your fault. That is the world in which we live in.
We just used to it. We grow up with these things,
We grow up with it, our parents, schooling, our environment, our friends, our family, everything around us. The media creates what we believe. So one of the first things you've got to do is release all the negative emotions and work on your mindset, and turn your I can'ts into I can. That is the simplest way that I can explain that. So turn your I can'ts into I can. See the positive. So that's that. Then let's look at the heart. So the heart is where we're passion. So what happens as we're growing up, and this has been huge for me. What happened to me was, I was a mother, so my children came first, that life came first. Where was I? At the end. I had a family, I had ill parents. Where were my needs? They were at the end. Where was what turned Brenda on? Nowhere to be found. I went into teaching, a very serious profession. Where was my needs? At the end. I had a family, I had children, I had a family, I had a job. Where was Brenda in this? Brenda was totally lost. And this is what happens. So one of the things, it can happen. I'm not saying it happens to everybody, but it can happen. It definitely happened to me. So one of the things is tuning into your passion. What are you passionate about? What do you love doing? Get back into feeling, and it's all about feeling. You must feel. What is it
Absolutely.
that lights you up? What makes your heart sing? What brings you joy? So you go from your heart. What are you passionate about in life? What causes do you support? And what can you do on a daily basis to make you smile from within? So you work on that part. So you're working on your mindset. You're working on this. So it's like you're spinning plates. And of course, then it's connecting with the soul, your powerhouse, your inner diamond, because I love to talk about diamonds. And you connect with who you are.
Yeah.
And you really, and you do it through meditation and through and just being still, through the awe and wonder of the inner child that's within you, seeing the beauty all around you. So the mindset's shifting. You're beginning to see things differently. You're beginning to hear things differently. You're loving where you're coming from. And when you finally connect with your soul and discover your soul purpose, you then are beginning to make all these shifts, and all these parts are coming into like a beautiful river. Think of a delta. They're all coming together and they all end up flowing. And when you're in that place, and so it's all about raising your energy as well. It's like an onion. There's so many layers to it, and Ritu and Sam.
It's beautiful. Brenda, what you've said, that if you boil it down to one thing, it comes down to being passionate about something, isn't it? Because each one of we've got our own personal passions, but as you said, the day-to-day life takes over our work, our children, our families, and the cultural upbringing, and the mindsets, how we've been placed into a box, and we accept it and we carry on being like that. And it's beautiful what you've said, that once we understand what our actual passion is and we start focusing on that is the actual growth. That is where we actually start becoming who we were meant to be in the first place. And it's amazing how you put it down and broken it down and explained it with analogies. It's beautiful how you're saying it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, as a coach, I have got many tools. I call it a treasure chest. I have lots of gems, and that's important. So you've got the experience, you've got the life experience, I have the inner wisdom, and I have the sort of tangible tools that I can use to support people and start to strip back the layers. And so somebody could come at the start of a journey, or maybe they're getting a bit stuck in their journey. So for me, it's about taking the ordinary and everything who we are and everything that we do and making it extraordinary. That is what really lights me up, because it's so easy. 1% makes you extraordinary. Do something for half an hour? No, do it 35 minutes. That extra 5 minutes starts opening up the doors to become extraordinary. Climb one mountain. No, climb the mountain next door. It's another 200 feet. But by just making little switches, you take your ordinary self and put yourself into the extraordinary box. And that's what most people won't do, because it's stepping outside of the comfort zone. It is a little bit more effort, but you do need effort in order to do something different, do what other people won't do.
So, Brenda, I wanted to capture what you've been saying. So, everything requires a small step towards achieving the better result in our life. So, in regards to the habit, because we have been given a lot of conditioning since we have been born, and habits are also part of our ingrained in our brain. So, how many days a person required to new or create a new habit?
Apologies, Sam. I missed that. The sound went out. Sorry.
Let me rephrase. Let me tell you one more time. So my question to you: how many days a person requires to create a new habit?
Okay, so there's lots of information out there about how many days it takes to create a new habit. So here's what I think about that. It depends on the habit. It depends how entrenched it is. It depends if it's something, okay, drink more water, make drinking water more of a habit. That's not going to take so much time as to changing, maybe creating a routine for yourself in the morning before you even begin to start the day, because you're connecting with who you are. So the thinking out there is, so I want to drink water more. 21 days, do a 21-day challenge, do a 30-day challenge, drink more water. That will definitely help start to create more better habits. Want something more entrenched? You could do a 40-day challenge. We know that number 40 is really powerful. Christians in the Bible, the number 40 comes up and up and up all the time. 40 again is another powerful time. It could be 6 months, it could be a year. It just depends what habit and how entrenched it is into your soul. Now, here's the key. How prepared are you to surrender? When you surrender, you can take a year-long, something that you think might take you a year, and you can collapse time and do quantum leaping and bring it to now. That's exciting.
Beautiful.
That's exciting. So in terms of what's a habit, it depends how prepared you are to surrender to that way of thinking, to that way of being, and to that behavior.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, you know, how you've said, Brenda, breaking the habit, time collapsing, that's beautiful how you explained it. Of course, we do need to surrender before we actually move on. You know how there's this story about somebody carrying a burden on themselves while trying to climb a hill, and obviously that pulls them down and the rest of it. Of course, once we have surrendered to the time, you know, to us, to who we actually are, and there is less resistance, of course, the journey becomes happier, if anything, not easier necessarily, but happier. So that's amazing what you've just put together. And you know how you've come to be, Brenda, who you are today, an amazing, strong, light worker, I'd call you. So what if I was to ask you, how did you get here? What makes you you? What would you say to that?
Okay, so this is a very philosophical question, and what makes me who I am. Oh, I might get emotional here, actually.
All right,
because you've
it's
just,
okay.
you know, no, it's okay. So this is absolutely soul talk here. You know, what makes me who I am. Okay, so what I have discovered about me is that I had all this power as a child, but didn't know what to do. Oh, I'm tingling. This is my soul talking. I'm so tingling. Because from the age of around 6, so when that reasoning starts to come in, I have always gone out my way to support other beings, other souls. From an 8-year-old who saw Biafran children and went and raised money as an 8-year-old because I was so moved. You know, from always supporting the children who came to school new, who didn't have a friend, the ones that were bullied, the underdogs. I was a special needs teacher. You know, I've always had this amazing capacity and soul for love. And, you know, and as I go along my journey, and the more I'm working with women and the more I'm doing, that love is becoming bigger and bigger. As a mother, I had incredible love, like mothers do. But, you know, but have this love. And what happens is that you have to awaken that, then you have to have awareness, then you have to accept it. So this is my 5 A's, you know, so you have to accept it. And that is the hardest part for anybody, to accept their truth, whatever that may be. And that means not accepting the positive, but accepting their flaws as well. We have to love ourselves because we're flawed. I want to bring my diamond out because diamonds are flaws. Now look at my diamond. It's got a little cracking it. So this has got even a flaw because I've dropped it. We all have flaws, and we have to love those flaws. Now that can take quite some time to really embrace, let them go, surrender, and really just accept, well, okay, sometimes I can be lazy, so what? I still, doesn't define me. It's a behaviour. It's not a who. So really, the path that you're on and the journey, it sometimes there's definitely switches happen and lights come on and you get more and more light. But it only happens as you journey along. So I know I've still got massive capacity to grow. We're limitless beings. We're limitless. We're of the same material as the universe. We're limitless.
Amazing how you've just said that we're all flawed one way or the other. And I personally believe that we were put on this earth to perfect ourselves. So if we did not have a flaw, we would not exist in the first place. Mm-hmm. And then you've gone on to say, Brenda, that yes, we are flawed, but we have this limitless potential from whoever and whatever we want to be. Amazing. I think that sums up the whole thing really in itself, isn't it?
We are the creators of our own life.
Yeah.
We are creators, particularly women. The womb of the woman is creation. Man is born, or humans is born of woman. Woman is the creative power on this planet. That's not to exclusivity that men are creative. Of course they are. But it is an inherent aspect of the divine feminine. So he's very creative. He's put this together. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
So I've kind of I lost my track there.
I'm sorry for interrupting. You were saying that women are creators because everything, the whole humanity is created through.
Oh yeah, I know what I was saying. Yeah. So we create our own version of our life, and sometimes the reality, which doesn't exist, it's all perception. So we also can design our destiny and design a destiny to leave a legacy, and I now have opened that door.
Super.
That door opens at different points in your journey. So the door of legacy has now been opened to me. It's been gifted to me. Oh my goodness, I'm getting emotional here. Actually, I've just had that channeled through me. I've never said that before, so thank you. So because I'm so talking in this way, it's allowed me to realise that this door has been opened, and we all have that door, and it's just a case of reaching out, turning and opening it. We have that power, and that's what we don't believe in ourselves, So we can create and we can design our destiny.
It's just it's sad in a way, but I suppose we do have to go through certain journey to be able to realize what is it that we really actually supposed to do and supposed to be. And once we do, as you've said, you've opened that powerful door now where you are creating your own life, where you are ready to create a legacy now for people to follow and people to acknowledge and understand your journey, which is amazing. And Sam's business is called Create Your Destiny. And it's the whole message is in there. We are all capable of creating our own destiny. It's just that the way we are conditioned from the start, we don't realize that we have that power. And once we do, Brenda, there's no stopping us, is it?
No, we're unstoppable. So my 3 words are fearless, unstoppable, and limitless. That's what we are. And when you tap into yourself and tap into your inside, because everything you need in this life is inside you, not outside. But how many of us search outside for everything? Get more money, I'll do this, I'll do that. No, become rich first of all inside, and then use the richness from within to enrich the life of others, because it's only by uplifting others will you be uplifted yourself. And actually, I don't know if this is the appropriate time, but I felt there's a link moving into the creation of the book.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
So I just want to show this. So just with that last statement as well, this is the first book that I've created. It's my third book that I'm a co-author in, but it's my creation, my whole concept. And why I want to talk about that is because this is a book. This is called Voices of Courage. It's pivotal moments. And I love that term. And I find more and more, I listen to presenters on TV and listen to people when I go on events, and lots of people talk about pivotal moments. So pivotal moment is a defining time in your life. It is a definitely defining moment where you get to a point of total darkness, of total, like, you've practically given up, and the only place is to be reborn. So you get to this darkness, and a decision has to be made. You've had so many fears. You couldn't make this decision because you believe you can't do this if this. I can't, you just have so much fear. And I can't absolutely consumes you. And it's a perpetual spiral. So instead of the spiral getting bigger, you get yourself right to the very base, that seed. And that seed goes into darkness. I don't know if you can see. This is a phoenix. And here's the old phoenix falling away. So what happens is you get to that very lowest point of your life, and you make a defining decision that changes your life forever. Not only does it change your life forever, but you change forever. You can never go back. So this book has got 33 such stories in it. So I have 32 co-authors from, I think there's 17 countries, 16 or 17 countries in that book about women's struggles. This is an amazing, moving, powerful, and totally inspirational book where women have gone through enormous struggles. And each story is unique, so we're back to the diamond. And those stories, those women go through such journeys, and it could be for years they've been in the darkness, but they get to that point where they can't do it anymore. There's a life-changing point. And so they talk about the darkness, they talk about that defining moment, that pivotal moment. But the beauty of the book that is so inspiring and it's given hope is they talk about where they go from that decision. And that is only the first step in that journey, because many of these women now are going into their own business, they're beginning entrepreneurial journeys because they have been given the platform and the freedom. They receive permission, a safe space to share that story. Some of these women, their families didn't even know these darkest, so they'll be learning a lot about it in this book. And beyond the book, we are taking this on the road in the framework of a movement called the Vow, the Voices of Women, because we vow to change. We vow to change ourselves and change others and change the world in its journey. And so this, for me, is why this book is so powerful. It's the collective energy of these stories coming together. And this is the first in a trilogy. So I'm in the middle of putting together.
Excellent. And you know what I like about your cover, the front cover, is how you said Phoenix rising from its lowest of the low. And the old version of the Phoenix dies out to build the new, stronger, more powerful, younger, vibrant Phoenix. And that's exactly what each one of us goes through life, doesn't it? And then when we're on the lowest of the low points, that is when we realize that, this, what's carrying on now has got to a point where we cannot allow it to happen anymore. And therefore, we either need to change the outside influence, which sometimes isn't possible, sometimes it is, or we need to do some work inside so that we don't carry on making the same mistakes over and over again. So it's beautiful. And I absolutely believe that all these stories that you have compiled must be very powerful. And as you say, we need to awaken women to the change and make them believe that it is possible. It is possible to be happy in this world. With the same set of people that you're around. It's sometimes your own development, your own personal needs you need to meet first. And amazing, lovely.
Mm-hmm. I just want to add that whilst this is a women's book, it's all women's stories, I do have the intention of doing something similar with men, of course.
Of course, why not?
This book will be amazing for male readers as well, because they will see and understand a lot more about the feminine.
Yes. Yes.
So they will be educated, and they too will grow. And it too will spark what they're hiding and what they're masking in their life, and will create that little spark that I know will grow, because once that spark's there, it has to grow, you know. So although it's women's stories, and I know loads of women will read it, and the reason I can say this with conviction is because the men I've spoken to about it tell me so, and also my own partner, he kind of helped me do a bit of the editing. And he read one or two, well, he didn't read them all, but he read one or two parts of some of the stories. And he said to me, Brenda, I'm not reading these stories. I want that book. I want that book in my hands, and I want to read it. And he is a very male, you know, man. And it moved him to tears, and he hadn't even got into the book.
Yeah.
That's how powerful this is.
Sometimes the only problem is that, you know, we don't know how to communicate. We don't understand the feminine part, won't understand the masculine part, and vice versa. Rather than there being prejudiced or, you know, being firm on the male chauvinism, if you like. Sometimes it's just miscommunication. And as you've said, your book obviously is a window. Once people read, and I think all women's stories are should be read by men as well, because that gives them an insight into the feminine aspects wherever they are in their own life, and obviously they can work on them, and they can try and make changes wherever necessary.
Absolutely, and you know that's probably I see that as a vision in my distance. It's not here yet. It's quite close, you know, because although I'm uplifting women at this point in my journey, and it's part of it, the bigger vision is that we all live in harmony and balance. So men and women live in balance of the feminine and the masculine, because we need masculine energy and we need feminine energy. And to actually be a whole person, you need to learn how to integrate it. To put that into simple terms, there is something called brain gym. And brain gym crosses the midline of our of us, and the left and right hemisphere of the brain. So the left hemisphere is very masculine. It's all about order and organization, all of those elements. And then you have the feminine side, which is softer, it's creativity, it's more fun. So therefore, for both men and women, you need to learn to cross the midline. We can do lots of little exercises like infinity or lazy 8, they call it, because it was for children originally. You can do cook to cups, where you do that and you do some breathing meditation for a minute. It just quiets you, it grounds you, and it gets you back, and then you're more balanced. So there's I've got lots of little tools in my treasure chest, or gems in my treasure chest, that you can do within a minute. I have a 3-minute meditation that I give everybody. I tell them about the 3-minute meditation, because folk go, oh, I can't meditate or whatever. Begin with a 3-minute meditation. No, begin with a 1-minute meditation and 4 breaths. You know, meditation is about stillness, being still, stopping the chattering going on in your mind. It takes practice. It's a muscle. It's like anything else. You go to the gym, you don't just lift the weights once and go, oh, look at these biceps, oh, I'm so toned. No, you've got to go and repeat and repeat and repeat, and you get toned. So it's like meditation. You do it every morning. Connect with yourself. Do moving meditation. I've got a friend who's also a coach, and she talks about moving meditation, Fiona Clark, and she is now a cyclist. When she needs to think, she's on her bike and she just is in the zone, and she calls it moving meditation, because that's when all her creativity comes up, all her best ideas comes up, because she shuts the rest of the world out. So if you swim, drive, run, anything, walking, you know, just go walking in nature, ground yourself, be in nature, use that as your meditation. Watch.
Yes.
So somebody, I've got a huge tree. You can't see it, but I've got a huge beech tree here. So some days I do a 1 minute meditation. I look out and I just watch the branches and the leaves, particularly in the summer when it's full of leaves. And that 1 minute of stillness is just incredible, how it can change your whole psyche and your state of the day.
Absolutely. So we have few people who join us since we have been on our interview. We have Mira, we have Melanie, we have Rhonda from Australia, and Shakil just joined us. Thank you, Shakil, and everybody else joining us. We have Brenda Dempsey, who is a soul confidence coach, and she's been talking about her journey as well as being on what to be called as soul confidence. She has given us a very good definition of that, which allows an individual to go through with their own journey as well. During the segment, we have some echoing or going on because of this is the first ever at the moment we started. This is the beginning of our first journey to make some more. We were finding some technical difficulties. We will be ironed out, hopefully going forward with more and more interviews we are bringing together. Brenda, you've been phenomenal, being telling us about your journey, your way of life has changed, learning and unlearning a lot of things. What is your message to the audience or to the universe, actually? What would be your wise message to the universe if you are being given this opportunity right now?
Okay, so my message to the universe is very simple. It's just be you. Be you unapologetically. Be you in your fullness. Be you in your flaws. Be you in your beauty. Be you in your genius. Be you. And for me, that is my purpose, is to show others and help them discover how they can be themselves. Because when we peel back that layer and show the vulnerability of our soul, that is when, oh my goodness, oh, sorry. That is when we truly connect with each other, because we know it, but we just have to really show that. And in that vulnerability is such strength, is such power, is such beauty, is such joy, is such love. And these are the highest vibrating energies that we have, that we want to instill within ourselves. Because when we are love and joy and happiness and light, then we can truly be who we are meant to be and share our message with everyone else, because they will see it, they will hear it, but most of all, they will feel it. Without feeling, we have nothing.
Would you say, Brenda, the hardest part of being just yourself unapologetically would be getting to accept yourself first for who you are?
Absolutely.
Isn't it? Because as we've been talking about how we condition and how things are different when we're growing up and we're told this, that and the other, we start believing all the voices around us. So would you give at least one tool to people who are still on their journey to accepting themselves as whoever they are, to being themselves unapologetically? Could you give them at least one tool, just the one, please?
A one tool to accept who you are? Well, that's a paradigm shift. That's the most challenging question you've asked me today. The one tool. Okay, here's something. Practice standing in front of the mirror. Again, I'm getting emotional. Practice standing in front of the mirror, looking yourself in the eye and saying, I love you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That takes courage. That takes
Yes.
letting everything, just surrendering. And that takes, I'm so tingled, but to be able to look yourself in the eye and say, I love you, without anything else, will set you up for the day, because that passion and desire in your soul to make the difference will propel you into inspired action, and everything you do that day will take you a step closer to achieving that absolute dream, that desire, that passion, that goal, whatever you want to call it. I also use the word intention. All of these, you know, it's important that so practice that.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
You start off with affirmations, you know, I am. You can go to affirmations, Noah St. John's, why am I love? I am love. Why am I love? I love you. You know, so there's little steps, but do mirror work. That's Louise Hayes. She has a whole book on mirror work, and it is very powerful, because they say the eyes are the window to the soul. So look yourself straight in the eye and say, I love you, and mean it with every passion, with every ounce, and feel it in every cell in your body.
That's amazing. That's beautiful, Brenda. That's absolutely fantastic. Of course, once we learn to accept ourselves, I think that's the first step we take towards being ourselves unapologetically. And I completely agree with you. But can I say a big thank you to you, Brenda, for taking your time to come and be with us here on Kindle Your True Power. Can you see Sam over there on your screen?
I can see Sam.
I can't see, for whatever reason, I can't see. Sam, are you there?
Oh, can't you hear him now?
Yeah, I'm still.
Oh, I can hear you.
No, I can see you, and I can hear you perfectly fine as well. But can I say a huge thank you, Brenda, for coming to our first episode of Kindle Your True Power and sharing your amazing experiences, information about your very powerful book, and all the beautiful things you have shared with everybody who's been on our show, and who I'm sure people will be watching us after it's done as well. So can I just say a huge thank you to you for appearing on a first episode and making it so amazing as you have. Thank you ever so much.
I'm just blown away that you've asked me to be that first guest, and it's been an absolute pleasure to have this platform in this space to speak my truth and my passion and purpose.
Thank you very much. We do intend to bring very powerful people like Brenda Dempsey has been on here, and I'm very pleased that we could invite Brenda, and Brenda did accept our invitation today. And we have got amazing, phenomenal, lovely, inspiring individuals who are going to come to our show. Kindle Your True Power with Sam Dosser, who's a business mentor and coach, a personal coach as well, and he has a business called Create Your Destiny, and he empowers people as well, helps them to go on to the next steps to achieve their full potential. Myself, Ritu Sharma, I'm a women's transformation coach, and all I do is push people forward, let women see for who they exactly are, help them to start loving themselves and believing in themselves and achieving anything and everything they put their minds to. And as Brenda has also agreed and stated earlier, that is exactly how we are. We have everything we need within us to capture our dreams, to live the life we've always wanted. It's only sometimes we are not aware of that power. And that's how we are. But Kindle Your True Power expects and looks forward to kindling your true power and helping you achieve your dreams with Sam and Ritu.
Thank you, Ritu, for explaining what Kindle Your True Power is. So we are very humbled to brought in Brenda Dempsey for our first episode. And I would say very humble thank you to all those who have joined us and actually commented on our show, and for Roger, who actually been giving us the direction in regards to telling us what's been going on and telling us everything. Thank you very much, and good night and goodbye for tonight. Thank you.